Because life is a relationship. We are a relationship, and we are made up of about 200,000 human cells and about 20 to 30, 100,000 other cells than us. We are a relationship, and everything is communicating with itself all the time. And that's how nature expresses itself. The trees and the flowers and the plants and the mushrooms and the insects and the birds and the animals don't operate as separate entities. They're working together for the good of life itself. And so if something gets sick over here, the trees over here will send over whatever substance, phytochemical, whatever is needed to heal this over here, because there's an intelligent understanding that we're all in this together. To serve your community and to serve each other is to serve yourself, and it's retarded, and I'm allowed to say that word because I employ mentally handicapped adults. It's totally retarded to be selfish because we're destroying ourselves. So to not include all living creatures and all living beings in our circle of compassion is destroying us. To get local about taking in information about what we are and what our correct place is. If we are a relationship, we're like one fractal in a hologram. And so if you remove that fractal from the hologram, you can't know yourself. You can only know yourself in relationship to the complete picture. When you plug yourself back into the hologram you're in, which is right here, this is where we are. So I'm here with you, and we're under the same sky, and we're on the same earth, and we're drinking the same water, and we're all part of the same thing. When we acknowledge that relationship, we begin to make sense, and we begin to know how to be. Eating primarily plant foods is just an intelligent thing to do because we live in a completely compromised environment. There's a holocaust going on. We're like under attack on every level in ways that we don't even understand. And the concentrations of poisons that are in animal products and animal material in general are just, it's too toxic. We need to be fundamentally on a cleansing diet all the time. That hasn't always been the case. I don't have a morality about killing because everything's killing everything. This whole universe is consuming and excreting itself all the time, and something's gonna eat me too. But to choose a compassionate way to eat, meaning if I'm gonna eat eggs, they're gonna be from chickens that were running around in somebody's backyard eating bugs and like being happy. I'm not gonna eat eggs from a chicken that was in a battery cage with 9 other chickens and had its beak cut off and was tormented its whole life. That's just stupid. But eating plant foods cleans your body. And we need to be cleaning our body all the time because we're living in a very sick environment. There's not enough oxygen. There's a bazillion chemicals. Our water is chlorinated and fluoridated, and it's making us stupid and passive. And we've lost the ability to find that warrior energy where we feel that we have the right to defend our own life. We feel that we have the right to defend our own resources. That's not something people have ever questioned until now. That's how disconnected we are. Eating plant foods makes you smarter, and there's medicine in them that we desperately need. It's kind of like taking your internal organs to the gym. When you eat anything bitter, you're tonifying. It's like working out a muscle. We need that. And all of our hybridized, domesticated foods that we're buying at the store have had the bitter bred out of them. So eating your dandelion in your yard, very important. If you're going to eat animal foods, do your research and make sure that they were loved and that they were respected and that they were cared for and that there's some consciousness there and that they weren't poisoned and tortured and fed sprayed, chemicalized, genetically modified grains and injected with growth hormones, and that your milk isn't filled with, what's the legal limit for pus cells in a quart of milk? Millions of pus cells is the legal amount. Why don't we know this? This is like the most relevant thing ever. Like, we eat every day. Everybody does. It's like the most important thing we do. Everybody needs food. Why isn't the earth covered in fruit trees? Why do we have like strip malls? Like, we all need to eat. How did I never think about why humans are the only species that molests its food and like changes it before eating it, and we're the only species that has like all the diseases we have and our domesticated animals? How have I never had that thought before? And I was like, but I wonder what else I'm not thinking about. This is like a crazy situation we're in, and no one's talking about it, and we really should be talking about it because it's like the only game in town. And so then, I was like sitting in the bathtub and like looking at water going like, what is this? Like, what is water? What is this stuff? It's like trippy. We don't think about it because we're like drugged and we're dumb and we're asleep. And so getting off of cooked foods and onto living foods was very much like coming off of drugs. And like, was like, I have never actually seen the world that I live in before. Is that a good enough soundbite?